pool. And of course, the weather was sunny enough for people to go outside and swim, but it's indoors, so you got to go to this pool.
So
probably.
It's perfect. Actually,
yeah.
in the last couple of days, it would have been nice to be in an indoor pool.
Yeah, but right now we're going to get some rain.
We will get more rain, but today is the wettest of the whole week. Gradually, rain chances will start to diminish as our Gulf system, possibly becoming Alberto at some point tomorrow, will get better organized. It'll start drawing a lot of that moisture away from us, but the moisture is still very much in place. As we just had a brief little downpour kind of roll across the city, you might get some brief street flooding within some of these showers. Thankfully, they are moving very quickly, but we're going to add to some of our totals. It looks like maybe a little bit more of a focus on the South Shore through the course of the next several hours. But again, we still have ample tropical moisture to help fuel some downpours, although rain chances tomorrow starting to really shift from over us to more so well out to our west as our system tries to get better organized. And I say try because that is certainly not anything written in stone. There definitely is more of a broad but not a closed circulation down to our south. And in fact, as you watch satellite imagery, there are several little swirls all over the place. It looks like this one is generally the center of all of those, so it will likely become what will eventually be the center of Alberto. Still though, as of 10 o'clock, potential tropical cyclone 1. Again, you may be thinking, well, the winds are 40 miles an hour. That is a tropical storm, but you need a closed low-level circulation, and that is just not there quite yet. That's expected to develop sometime tomorrow, and then Alberto will eventually make its way into the coast of eastern Mexico. The problem, though, is as far as the impacts go, it's going to be over a large area because this is not going to be a very compact storm by any means. Really, you look at the swath of moisture associated with this broad circulation, it's going to go from basically the Louisiana-Texas coastline all the way down to the Yucatan Peninsula, or not the Yucatan Peninsula, but the Bay of Campeche. And so this is really going to be more of a rainmaker than anything with regards to impacts from wind or storm surge. Then we have a fairly dry stretch of weather, but as I mentioned, we will be looking back into the Bay of Campeche, almost the exact same location for this weekend, as the models are picking up on some other little disturbance, maybe being drawn northward. Too soon to know exactly what, if anything, forms, but that'll be the next area that we watch. And in fact, the Hurricane Center is highlighting that with a low end chance for development in the next 7 days. Also notice there's an area out off the East Coast. It looks like that will stay out in the East Coast, or in the Atlantic waters. For tonight, again, few passing showers that develop could produce some isolated street flooding. And then tomorrow, again, that risk will be there, but more of a focus out to our west with a much greater chance for flooding. And that's going to be the main concern. So we are going to add to some of our rainfall totals over the next several hours, but nothing very high. In fact, consider the models at one time called for 3 to 5 inches over South Louisiana, and we did not see that. We'll add a little bit to that total for tomorrow, somewhat on Wednesday, but far more of that rain event will be out to our west. Really, the only impacts we're going to see from this system is offshore winds increasing. We'll have a bit of a breeze inland, but offshore winds out of the east strong enough that we could start to see some higher tides, especially at high tide for both Tuesday and Wednesday. High tides are kind of midday, early afternoon. Winds right now are already pretty gusty offshore, and those winds closer to the center will also be increasing, although it also looks like this wind field associated with our disturbance will also be fairly large. This, again, doesn't have the right ingredients to become a rapidly intensifying storm, so that is good news. 77 is our current reading with some light rain out at Kenner. East-southeasterly winds at 7 miles an hour. At least the silver lining is our temperatures have stayed down. Briefly Sunday at around 9:30 in the morning, we got up to 92 degrees, and then the rainfall. Kind of the same today. We hit 86, but it was after 9 a.m. and then quickly started to cool down. We'll gradually see those temperatures increasing as our rain chances decrease. And then, as mentioned, we'll be watching down in the Bay of Campeche yet again as we head toward next weekend for possible tropical development. We're very much in the heart of, or we're very much in hurricane season, not even yet to the heart of it, but, you know, not a surprise when you start to see these little things bubbling up.